All right, safety. I've been getting a little bit of static for not being safe, right? And I want to promote safety. Um, the thing is, right? All the safety gear in the world is not going to make me as safe as Alex Honnold is free solo on El Cap. So it's relative, right? Um, I think it's worth having a backup plan for extreme circumstances. I one time got cut off by a car on my motorcycle. And when people get on the back of my motorcycle, I mention, and it sounds a little over the top, but if contact is imminent, if you're definitely going to hit another vehicle, jump up. Just freaking jump up. That's all. You don't have to do anything acrobatic. But the problem is, when you hit a vehicle on your motorcycle, the handlebars break your wrists. I have friends that had both wrists broken, more than one. Like I know two people like that. Then the handlebars will hit your legs. So that's a different element of safety. I think sometimes you can get to a false sense of security with all your safety gear. So like knowing how to fall. My poor girlfriend fell down her skateboard the other day. Fortunately, she had a helmet on because I saw her do a Superman. And bam, like freaking, sucked. I heard a little squeak. Turned around, she had hit a speed bump. And she was like, like that. And without her helmet, she would have face planted. And like wouldn't hit hard, but it would have hit just the same. So like safety gear is a really good thing. I went down on my skateboard once completely unexpectedly. I fell down as a kid a lot. So I had an immediate response, kind of tuck, roll, whatever, right? And fortunately did not suffer any thing other than, minor embarrassment. There was somebody like standing across the street. There was a drainage channel. It was close to a water, so you couldn't put sewer lines underneath, and they fit the tires on my skateboard perfectly, so my freaking board just stopped. I wasn't going that fast, I don't think. I was kind of, whatever. Anyway, so, as far as safety, there's an element of like relative safety. Like people seems to me to be getting a little bit righteous, like, kind of like in your face, like, dude, where's your this and that? And, I prefer to skateboard barefoot. It might look stupid, but there's an element of, like, I do most things barefoot, like stonework at the job site. If you used to be in barefoot, you're like, if something's falling and heading toward my foot, I just know to freaking jump up in the air because it's an automatic response. When I hit a freaking drainage ditch on my skateboard, I tuck and roll. You can't teach somebody to freaking tuck and roll. Like, if you haven't fallen down a lot as a kid, you're not going to automatically freaking do a little roll. You know what I mean? So, safety, like, what's stupid? A swimming pool is stupid if you don't know how to swim. By all means, like, use appropriate safety gear for, what you're, what you might encounter. I lost track. I've been talking for a minute now. I did one time have a car cut me off on my motorcycle. And I was cruising through Golden Gate Park. It was early. I don't know, whatever. Right, so car cut me off. There's nothing you can do. You're gonna freaking hit it. So I went over the car and landed on my feet. Didn't get a scratch, right? And I probably had a helmet. Now, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, are you gonna practice smashing into cars? I don't think so. But realistically, having a backup plan. I remember flying this gnarly storm with my daughter in Belize, of all things. I feel bad about this. Well, I took her to Central America for her 13th birthday, so it's not like I'm a bad guy. But I lost track of the days. I'm bad with details, right? So we're passing from Guatemala to Belize. A guy looks at her passport and says, happy birthday. And I'm like, tomorrow? And he's like, no, he had a funny accent. It's like, no, your daughter's birthday's today. And I look at her and I'm like, happy birthday. It's like, whatever, she rocked this like a 13-year-old should. Like, I guess you just don't care. So, completely played it. And I don't know, that's what you would expect from an intelligent 13-year-old kid. So she completely worked it, right? I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And I was like, what do you want to do? And where was I going with this story? Oh, the plane ride was really bad. But anyway, she decided that she would like to celebrate at the Lobster Festival in Placencia, Belize. How she knew about that, I don't know. But I grabbed a flight, little tiny puddle jumper plane. The wind was really bad, and we're flying over the marsh, and it sounds ridiculous, but having a backup plan, sometimes you need one. And I mean, it really was bad. It felt like the plane could go down. So I had played out in my head, seat belt, grab her arm, exit door, and if we land in the marsh, there's a good chance you're going to live, but you don't want to drown, Now, that might be a little over the top, but I think it's a good idea to have a plan just in case. I mean, shoot, I would hate to, whatever, I don't know. It makes life a little more exciting, but it also really applies. I mean, if I didn't jump over that car in my motorcycle, I would have gotten flipping hurt. As it turns out, I ruined my motorcycle, but I didn't ruin me. A friend of mine was in from out of town, and it would have been a bummer. I would have missed him, But anyway, so yeah, as far as safety goes, know what you need. Like, my girlfriend's smart enough to know that she needs a freaking helmet and, all kinds of pads, you know what I mean? But, keep that applied to, yourself, man, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see any need to get in other people's face. I don't know, it's just weird. I mean, I do have a certain sense of concern in as much as, extreme sports. In order to get the attention that you need to finance your extreme sports, we as a society are pushing people into bigger waves and more risky situations on mountains, and I don't like that. But I don't know that talking smack about people or putting people down is going to improve the situation. And by all means, if you think that you might Superman on your flipping skateboard and faceplant, wear a flipping helmet. But if I'm skateboarding barefoot, I'm safer on, I'm more aware, and if I'm all geared up, it's distracting to me. I'm 100% tuned in. If I'm on my skateboard, I am very, very aware that I am barefoot, and I'm a little bit more attentive to what's around me and less distracted. I mean, I hate shoes. It's distracting. Puts me in a really bad mood. I got shoes on my feet. I get grumpy and I start doing stupid things. I'd rather be in a happy headspace and skateboard like that. I'm not recommending it, but do me and yourself a favor and freaking pay attention to your own trip. I might bum you out, but I'm just having a good time. Anyway, be safe.